is it on? Hold on 1 second. All right, so what we are going to do today, we are going to graph this equation. Now there's 3 steps when we are graphing equations that we have learned about. Our first step is we need to get y by itself. That is, we need to look here, and just like when we solve for equations, we need to get this variable by itself. We need to get everything else to the other side. So in order to do that, we use DCMAM. Now this is a 1-step equation. The only thing we need to do is we need to add or subtract. Well, what's being added to y is this negative 2x. So the opposite, or the inverse operation of negative 2x, is to add 2x to both sides. So if we have negative 2x plus y equals negative 3, we're going to add 2x to both sides. On our left-hand side, we're left with y equals, now this negative 3 and this 2x, we cannot combine. They do not have the same variables or the same exponents, so we just leave them on their own. We have negative 3 and we have 2x. So our new equation is y equals negative 3 plus 2x. So that is step 1. Our second step is we need to make a t-chart. Our t-chart's over here. We have it set up. We have x's on this side and y's on this side. And now we need to set up we need to set up some x values to figure out what y will be. Now you can choose any x values that you want, but I'm going to choose some negatives, and I'm going to choose some positives, and I'm going to choose small numbers so that I don't have to do a lot of math. So the couple numbers that I'm going to choose are negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. Now if you want to choose different numbers, you can, but you need to choose some negatives and you need to choose some positives so you can see where the graph is going. Now, in order to get what our y value, we are going to take this negative 2 and we're going to substitute it in for x. So when we do that, we get y equals negative 3 plus 2 times negative 2. Now we solve, we get y equals negative 3. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Negative 3 minus 4 is going to be negative 7. This value goes right here. Now for the next 4 x's, we're going to do the same thing. I know that you can add and multiply, so I'm just going to give you the answers. So for negative 1, our y value is going to be negative 5. For 0, our y value is going to be negative 3. For 1, our y value is going to be negative 1. And for 2, our y value is going to be 1. So now we've made our t-chart. The last thing that we need to do is we need to plot our points on the graph. So the way that we wrote the t-chart, we have them in a nice ordered pair, and we can just start plotting the points. Our first point is negative 2 and negative 7. So we go to the left 2 and we go down 7. And we plot our point. Our next one is negative 1 and negative 5. So we start here. We're going to go over to the left 1 and go down 5. And plot our point. Our next is 0, negative 3, so we're not moving anywhere on the x-axis, we're just moving down 3 and plotting our point. Next one is positive 1, negative 1, so we go to the right 1 and we're going to go down 1. So we have a positive and negative. And lastly, we have positive 2, so to the right 2, and positive 1. So we're going up on the y-axis 1. Now we can see that our points are in a orderly fashion. There's nothing crazy going on, so we know that we plotted it correctly. We know that a function has to pass the vertical line test, so if we were to draw lines, we see that no line would cross the 2 points. And so we know that it's a function, and the last thing that we need to do is we need to connect our points. So it's easier if you use a straight edge, and we know that lines go on forever, and so we need to put our arrows, and that is our graph.